Hi, everybody. Welcome to Tuesday night Knit Chat. My name is Noelle, and this is my friend
Kelly.
And we're again an international podcast tonight. I am in Saugerties, New York, and Kelly, you're in.
I am in Courtright, which is in southwestern Ontario in Canada, but not for much longer.
No. So we are coming to you from across the border tonight, and before we go any further, I just want to say again, I know that the storms across the states have been horrendous, and our hearts, thoughts, prayers go out to anybody that's affected. You know, pray for a speedy cleanup and things to get back to normal. I know that's, sounds light saying it, but it's just heart-wrenching watching the devastation on the news. So I hope that everybody's okay and safe and that things improve. So where we've been here, we've had actually fairly decent weather. Since we've been here, we've only had maybe a day where it's been like a little bit rainy, but for the most part, it's been, warm enough that I haven't had mitts on. So it's a little cool in the morning, but it's been nice weather. But apparently it's supposed to get warm for Rhinebeck. I wish today's weather would have been perfect for Rhinebeck.
Yes. And I spent my past weekend at the fair, and we had 2 glorious days for Friday and Saturday. And then Sunday we had rain. Sunday night was torrential rain. And Monday, our theme of the fair this year actually was called Country Roots and Rubber Boots. So Sunday and Monday were the rubber boots portion of the agenda. You definitely needed your boots to get around the fair, but everybody had a great time. And for the most part, the weather was okay. Sunday was pretty cold. So
I know my grandchildren went on Saturday. Well, Molly was there twice. Molly was
there on Friday.
Was out there on Friday with her class, and then they were back again on Saturday, and they really enjoyed it. And Saturday was a gorgeous day. So
Saturday was, I think, possibly a record attendance for us at the fair too. So this is the Brigden Fair, and Molly came on Friday with her school, and we have ag awareness in the classrooms. And so I asked Molly what her favorite part of the day was. And I was thinking of all these things that she might have done. And she said her favorite part of the day was putting out the fire, to which both of her parents went, "What?" But we had firemen on site that day, and we had they had junior fireman costumes or equipment to put in on them. And they had to do a series of tasks. And one of them was to put out a little fire with the fireman supervising, obviously. And Molly thought that was pretty cute. So
she fun. Well, she was excited that she was learning all about agriculture.
Yes. I asked her if she got a chance to milk the cow, because they were doing that as well. It's not a real cow. It's called Mabel the cow. It's a learning cow that we brought in from another fair. And she said she didn't do that.
Molly's a little timid sometimes when it comes to animals. She's a little bit she's not like Isla's all over them, but Molly's just a little bit timid. So
yes. Yeah. But they looked like they were having a great day at the fair.
Yeah. So anyways, while this past week we went to a couple more little towns that are around here. We went to the real Woodstock.
The real Woodstock.
And it was amazing. It's such a cute town. And there was a flea market, kind of farmer's market on that day. So we went around there, and I don't know if Natalie's in here, but Natalie, I forgot to take a picture, but they had these overalls that you would have just loved. They were like full on mushrooms all over the overalls. And they came in both a colorful version and a black and white version. Now, they were way too big for me. Otherwise I might've been tempted to get a pair, but they were very cute. And of course, lots of tie-dye, and just, it was really cool. And it was a gorgeous day that day. So it was a nice day to walk around. I mean, it was no yarn stores there, but it's still a really nice town. And then one of the other days we went to Kingston, which is the town that we stayed in last year. We kind of went down by the water and we went to, now I'm going to forget the name of the yarn store. It's a yarn store that's also a wine bar. So
wow,
it was really nice. Like sat down, had a glass of wine, the yarn store's there. We had a nice chat with the owner, one of the owners behind the bar. He was all into the wines and the beers. And then his partner, she was the one that was in charge of the wine and the rest of it. So she was quite busy because there was a class going on. But yeah, it was so nice to sit and relax. There was another woman at the bar. We had a nice chat with her. She didn't even knit. She was just there for the wine. So anyway, it was very fun. And then we went to another store that was in Tivoli, and that store was called Fabulous Yarn. And I went there because I knew they had Flexi Flips.
Oh, yes.
I got another couple of sets of.
We have to talk about the Flexi Flips tonight. Yes.
Yes, I know. I did, and you can turn it. And I know you put a video in there, but yes, because I just finished the sock and it was like blah, blah.
And did you feel ridiculous after?
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna have this conversation in a few minutes. Okay.
Yes.
Let's carry on for a second.
Yeah. But anyways, it was yeah. So we've had a good week, like we had a nice little walk just up and down. The road that we're on is kind of like rolling hills. And yeah, it's nice. The colors have even changed more since we've been here than what they were like on the drive here.
Oh, I'm excited to see that.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and then last week, I had told you about the yarn store in Perth that I went to, or the Canadian Yarn Growers Association. Mm-hmm. And I do have that video. So I'll play that. Last week I had just gotten here and things were a little bit scattered, but I do have that video now. So I'll play it for you now. Okay. First of all, let's say where we are. You'll tell us.
Well, you should ask her name.
Okay.
What's your name?
My name is Louise.
Louise, pleased to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah, all right. I am filming now.
Okay, so we are here in Carleton Place.
Yes.
And we are at the
real
Real Wool Shop.
Exactly.
And this is Louise.
Yes.
And Louise has been telling me a little bit about it. So we're back here. This is kind of a storage room area, but they've got Makealongs blankets, like the biggest selection I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Bigger than Makealongs.
More than you see at Makealongs.
Yeah, we're moving things around. All the clothing's going to get moved in,
Okay.
and it's going to be just wool and things in here.
Oh, it's fantastic building.
This
I love
building
this.
is amazing.
Isn't it
Yeah.
stunning?
It is.
Yeah, I gave your husband the history of the building. It's really interesting, fascinating.
Okay, and do you want to tell us a little bit about this?
So this wooden structure was originally designed as a wool packing.
Okay.
They have the big jute bags, and then they just cram the wool in.
Okay.
We don't use them anymore, so they've been turned into change rooms.
Just
That's
amazing.
fantastic. That's a great idea.
And then these, we still get yarn and still ship the yarn like this.
Wow.
And when we get it from Briggs & Little, which is, I think it's so funny because we send the raw wool to New Brunswick,
Yeah.
and then they send us back the yarn. So
Wow.
it originally started out here.
So now-
and even Briggs & Little send us the yarn in jute bags.
Okay,
It's
so
really
you
fun.
were saying that basically, like all the wool from
all
all
wool
over
in Canada
Canada
comes here,
to
and
this
then it
place.
gets shipped out.
So you sort it.
We grade it.
Oh, grade
That's
it,
all
okay.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah, there's
Okay.
guys in the warehouse. I call them mole men because I'm sure they've never seen the sun. And yeah, they grade it, and then
Wow.
it gets shipped out.
Okay, and then you get some of it from some of the companies you get back as finished product that you
Exactly.
sell,
Yeah,
right?
like
Right.
Briggs & Little. Yeah, it's really fun.
So maybe we'll take a few pictures of where the wool comes
Oh,
from.
sure, please, go
Okay.
ahead.
Okay.
Okay.
And how long have you worked here?
I've just been here since January, but I've
Okay.
been working in yarn stores for 30 years.
Okay, but you're an avid knitter.
Oh, hardcore.
Yes.
Yeah, so you should tell us what you've got on then.
Yeah, why don't you
Yes.
tell us what you
So
got?
this is, I think it's lotus flower. It was a free pattern on Ravelry.
Yeah, it's very pretty.
I'll
And
look it
this
up.
is it's a mohair and cotton, and then I used koi glue in the color work.
And your
then
shawl?
my shawl is it's an Icelandic.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It is.
They used a
Gorgeous.
lace weight originally, and I've done it in a lace weight, and then this one's a fingering, and then a friend and I dyed it.
Oh, that's
Oh, that's
beautiful.
fantastic.
Yeah, it was
Gorgeous.
really, really
Yeah,
fun.
it goes
No,
really
I-
well with that sweater. It's a
it
perfect
does.
match for that sweater.
Yeah, I
does.
love it.
It
Yeah.
does. Well, thanks for talking with us. And
No
I know
problem, my pleasure.
it was funny when we first came in here, and I said, "Oh, I just got to start here and look at the beginning." And Louise looked at Ross and says, "We're open till 5."
So it could be a while.
So, yeah.
Great.
But thanks for taking the
Oh,
time
my
to talk.
We appreciate it.
pleasure.
Yeah.
And we'll take a few more pictures, and I'll put some more shots in the show.
Wonderful.
Great. Good. Thanks for
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, and then I've got a few more pictures here just so you can see the bales of the yarn that come in. So all those along that side, those are all those huge big bales of just packed in yarn.
Wow.
And
That
then
is-
this was a picture of some of the display in the store. Yeah, and this is just on the other side, and the yarn comes in constantly. And then there's the like kind of where the receiving is. So Canadian wool growers, like you wouldn't expect some place to be like this. Like Carleton Place is not a very big place. Like Ottawa is bigger, but Carleton Place is outside of Ottawa. But yeah, if you get a chance to go, it's really actually pretty fascinating. And when you walk into that distribution center, it just the wool fumes are just
I was going to say this. It must be
overwhelming.
very sheepy in there, is it?
It's very sheepy. So, and then before we go further, one other thing that I was going to show you, I was talking about the self-shedding sheep.
Yes.
That was from the couple that we met in New Zealand. So I've got a couple of pictures of one of the lambs that they kind of hand reared. So here's a picture here. So this is on the one side is the lamb cuddled up by the fire with their dog. And then there's just
So cute.
another view of it. So yeah, the dog and the lamb get along quite well together. But yeah, so these are self-shedding. So you don't ever have to worry about shearing them. But they are predominantly meat sheep. But it was kind of cool to meet them and talk about that because I'd never heard of that before. So,
I never have either.
And it's like, yeah, it's so cute that they're just cuddled right up to the dog. So that was one of the lambs that kind of bonded to her. I know Vanda wants a sheep. Me too, Vanda. But
Vanda, you should have come out to the fair. We auctioned off 4 lambs yesterday.
So
For grass cutting. I should be clear on that. Yeah,
Okay.
cutting grass. Yeah, and I was getting a kick out of Ross's commentary on that as well.
Yeah. And Marina, you're right. I do mean bales of wool. I do mean
Yes.
bales of wool, not yarn. It's not made into yarn yet. It's bales of wool. So
No.
But yeah, so that's just that was totally unexpected. Coming upon that place, we had no idea when we got there that that's what it was going to be like. So, and of course that had, they have all the yarn end of it. And then Ross is really interested in like the building and the actual manufacturing and the kind of all the logistics behind it. So.
Great.
Okay.
That's fantastic. Thanks for sharing that.
So we should move on to some admin maybe before we get into what we're wearing.
Yes, we should.
So we had one prize.
Yes.
From the end of what month are we in?
September.
September. Okay. One prize from the end of September for the Smash.
Adventalong.
We don't have a Smasher stash. No, we don't. Okay. Sorry.
Adventalong.
Adventalong. Okay.
Are you still high on the yarn fumes?
I am. Okay. So I think you have that one, right?
I do.
Okay.
I'll show the prize first.
Okay.
Okay. So the Adventalong is where you started something at the beginning of the year to take the pressure off of yourself in December. Some people are doing things like socks. Noelle's doing a pair a month. I'm doing 1 pair for the year, but I'm doing it in sections. Some people have sweaters. I saw a few people are doing like a dishcloth a month. Some people are making the little minis for their garland that they want to hang on a tree or in their home to decorate. So there's lots of options, lots of ideas. And I don't want to yawn tonight, but I am very sleep deprived. I'm sorry. So there's a chatter thread. The finished object thread will open at the beginning of December, and then you can place your finished objects in there. But right now what we're doing is each quarter we are drawing from the chatter thread, and the prize is a beautiful sandy bag. This one's particularly gorgeous.
It is very gorgeous.
It is absolutely beautiful.
Just pop.
And it has a peacock. This is like a I don't want to say plastic, vinyl that you can wipe down. So if the bottom of your bag gets dirty, it has this lovely pocket at the front. And then there are also pockets on the inside as well with a zipper so that you don't lose anything. And Sandy makes these bags and donates them to the podcast, and they really are beautiful. They're big. They hold a lot of things when you're shopping or when you're knitting, and they're just very beautifully made. That's the prize.
Okay.
And excuse me, the winner for September is, do you have it there?
Yep.
Is Kim, who is Kimbuktu7 on Ravelry. And she was the random number generator winner. That looks so much, that yarn, when I saw it, it reminds me of the same colors of that little shorty pair that I just finished when we had those Curio minis. It's very close in color. It's really pretty. I like the stripe sequence. I like the cables down the front of those feet. Very nice, Kim. So I'm thinking, if I remember correctly, Kim is actually doing a pair or maybe even 2 pairs a month. So congratulations. And
congratulations, Kim.
Okay, I'm going to take that down.
Okay.
And then
we had last week, Menno Jolie, who is La Violette Knit. She had gifted us or donated to the podcast some patterns to give away for her latest mitten pattern, which is called the Lift Me Up Mitts and Fingerless Mitts. So we gave away 2 patterns on the podcast last week. And then we also had 2 patterns to give away for anybody that was watching after and put a comment into the below the video once the video was posted on YouTube. So we've got 2 winners for that, and I've got them here. So the first one is Sandra Crowley.
Oh,
and
congratulations.
Sandra says, how exciting to win one of Natalie's patterns. Thank you and happy Thanksgiving. She also won a pattern last week. So here she's won 2 patterns. And then the next one was Marg Reffel. And Marg says her fall plans are to finish a couple of, what does that say?
Stuffiness for gift giving.
Stuffies, maybe?
Stuffies, maybe?
Stuffies for gift giving, work on a shawl, and very soon start a tulip sweater with nuded in a Surrey silk. Yeah, I want one.
That one's on my list too.
It's on my list for sure.
Yes.
So congratulations to both Marg and Sandra and the bag winner, who I've already forgot the name of. Oh, Kim. It was Kim. Congratulations to everyone. And you can get a hold of us by emailing us at knitsandpiecespodcast@gmail.com. And if we are mailing something to you, we need your full name and your mailing address. So congratulations to all the winners, and, you know, keep getting your Advent things in there, keep getting your socks in there. And then we've also got our other knit along going on, which is for the unselfish knit along, where you are knitting something for someone as a gift or a donation or something that's for someone other than yourself. So,
right.
And that one will run until October 1st. I think that should be December 31st, right?
Yes, it should. I said I was going to change that. I didn't. Sorry.
So anyway, so yeah, so those are the knit alongs that we have going on, and hopefully at the end of October we'll be fully caught up.
Yes, I hope so. If you did win something last week that had to be mailed, and if you sent in an email this week, I apologize. Nothing got mailed out this week. I will be away until next Tuesday, or returning late Monday night. So I will say next Tuesday, and I will be catching up then and getting everything out in the mail. There was not time. I was telling Noelle before the show started, this past week, I logged just shy of 80 hours out at the fairgrounds. That's basically 2 weeks of work. I have nothing. So I have nothing to finish. No finishes to show tonight. It's all going to be Noelle. No finishes, no new starts, no working on anything. There has been no knitting. And my job tonight, when I finish this, is to pack up and finish a dress, do some laundry, and get the bags packed and pack up the sweater that didn't get finished that I'm wearing to Rhinebeck, and load all of this into the car, because I am hoping to be on the road very early tomorrow to meet up with Julia, and we are Rhinebeck bound. And I will feel great once I get there, but I'm not going to lie. I'm pretty tired right now, but I am looking so forward. So if you see me and I look tired, please don't tell me I look tired. I know I look tired. And, but yes, I'm excited for the Rhinebeck week and all of the goodies that we have planned. I know Thursday we're going to pick up every stitch. Friday night, Woolen Affair. Saturday.
There's a spider crawling up the wall here.
A spider? Is it big?
Yeah, it's bigger than I like. It's okay. It's okay. This is your bedroom.
Oh, great. You'll take care of that before I get there. So
well,
if you see,
it's behind a painting now. So
if you see us this weekend, please come and say hello. We want to talk to you. We want to hopefully find some time to sit and knit with some people too. Yep. We will see what we have going on when we're there. But yes, please come and say hello. And that would definitely make our visit if we got to meet with some of you for sure.
Yes. Yeah, I'm excited about seeing everybody. So
I know.
Hey, and I just want to say that Natalie asked us weaving count. Yes, Natalie, weaving counts for the gift along. Actually, when we were doing any of the knit alongs, if you want to weave a pair of socks, I would love to see them. But yeah, so yes. Anyway.
Yes. So mostly any of our make-alongs, we always want to include all of the things. We want to include the knitting, the crocheting, the weaving, anything that you can do to make. So we try to call them all make-alongs, but Unselfish Maker didn't flow as well as Unselfish Knitter. So this one is called Knitter, but we welcome all of the crafts.
Yeah.
So
okay. And there was a question here about repeating the name of the shawl. I don't know if she said the name. She said it was a Shetland shawl, but I don't recall her saying the specific name. But if I get a chance, I'll email the store and see if she does have a name of it. So, okay.
All right.
So shall we move on to what we're wearing?
Let's move on.
Okay. I'll go first.
Okay.
I am wearing the Lento. And this is a pattern by Jonna Heelan. And I don't have any pictures of it. I've never taken pictures of this sweater, but as you can see, it's full on sparkle.
It's very sparkly.
So I'll stand up so you can see it. It is a little bit cropped. So it just basically comes to just kind of my hip bone. It is made out of 3 different strands of yarn. So there is a strand of Leo and Roxy Natural Sock, and I believe that is in the colorway Vixen. And then there's a strand of Leo and Roxy Silk Mohair, and it's a different color. And it still had another moody name, but I can't remember the name of it. And then it's the Lang Paillettes or the sequins, I believe, in the dark rainbow. So they're really, really sparkly and shimmery. So yeah, it's just a top-down raglan. It's a little bit warm, but it's not too bad because I just did 3/4 length sleeves. Didn't
the color have the word Vixen in it?
There was one that was Vixen, but the other was something else. There was two different. It'll be, well, it won't be linked because I won't be doing show notes, but I can't remember. Anyway, it is on my Ravelry page. If you look it up, the colors are on there. So
I'm sure Julia will pop in here in a second with the answer for us.
And I've actually worn it quite a bit. And I mean, that's right. It's a bling lento. Like, I mean, if you're at a yarn festival or in a yarn area, if you can't wear bling, then when are you going to wear it? Right.
That's right.
So, but it was a fun, fast knit because it's a fairly large stitch gauge. I think I didn't even go as large as what the pattern calls for. Mm-hmm. So I think I did modify it a little bit. It's got a nice little neckline that's just got the rolled edge on it. Yeah, I know that whoops, I just knocked my
whoops.
I know that some people say that they found that the lento didn't fit that well. I find maybe it just depends on your particular size. Like I find for me, it actually fits like quite nicely through the raglan. Like I don't have a whole lot of bunching here or so. But again, I did modify the gauge.
Good.
Okay.
Good.
So what are you wearing?
I am wearing, I did make a banner. I am wearing the Werner vest by Vitra Design. Hold on. No, I didn't make a banner for it. I'm totally lying. And I went in to get a picture and I forgot to pull the picture out too. Oh, for heaven's sakes. Okay. I have it open on my Ravelry page. Can I share the page?
I'm sure you can try.
I can do that, right? Let's see if I can do that. I think
Usually
I can.
I don't know. Usually I have that open already if I'm going to do. Oh, there you go.
There. What's it doing? There we go.
That's there.
Okay. So there's all of the information. Maybe we should
There you
start
go.
doing this. This maybe isn't so bad. So here's the yarn that I used. I don't know how clear this is for everyone. It's a little not so clear on my screen, but anyway, I used the Drops Kid Silk and I held that together with the Holst Garn Coast. And I love the fabric that this vest made. Now this pattern is heavily modified. If I go here, let me pull that up. I actually completely changed the vest. I wanted it to look different. The original vest pattern is a very fitted vest, and I wanted this to be a looser, just like a cozy, comfy vest that you pull on. So I changed needle sizes for the front and back. And then I also did, let me see. So I made an extended back on that. So I did a split hem, and the back is actually 3 inches on the hem and the front is 2 inches on the hem. And then I joined the back and the front, overlapping it by 4 stitches so it lays flat on the side. I also added an 8-stitch lace panel insert going up the side of the vest. I just thought that would add a little extra interest to it. And then I completely modified the top of the vest too, because it sort of sat out a bit on the shoulders and I wanted this one to be a narrower fit. So I adjusted it there too. So it is, I mentioned that in my Ravelry page that it is fairly heavily modified, but I'm very, very happy with the end result, the way it turned out. So, and it's very cozy.
Yeah,
It fits
nice.
the bill.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can see.
Super into vest.
Throw this out of here. I know, it's that perfect transition. So yeah, you can see how sort of narrow it is at the shoulders, but that was exactly what I was headed for on this vest. So it worked out really well.
Okay. So the other color in this was called Ominous.
Ominous. Was it Ominous Vixen?
No, the one color is called Ominous and one color is called Vixen. So put them together, it's a blingy Ominous Vixen.
That's where I was going. Yeah, that's right. I remember there was like 2 words in the Vixen, and I know that we laughed a bit about it. So
yeah. So okay.
Oh, okay. Isabel said, okay, I'll try that for next time. Isabel said if I clicked on it, I didn't see that when I was on there sharing.
Yeah, we'll have to,
they would get a bigger
experiment
picture
with that a little bit and see if we can.
Yeah, because that might actually be the future.
That might, yeah.
Then we won't have to rely on poor Julia to feed us details. We could read the there. Okay. Julia, are you packed? Are you ready to go?
I'm sure she is.
I bet she is.
Because Julia is organized.
You know, I have to say, I just want to say how great of a friend Julia is. She came out at the fair on Friday. And when she popped into the office, she said, like, what can I do to help you? She said, you know, did you get your dress finished? Did you get your sweater finished? And I said, no, on both accounts. And she goes, I will do that for you. And I'm like, no, that would totally be cheating. I have to do it myself, but I absolutely love that you offered. I said, that's like incredibly kind. She is a good friend for sure. She said she's almost ready. Okay, good. Okay. I'm excited. So
before we go further, there were a couple of questions. Or just comments. So we've been talking a lot about Flexi Flips. And I had someone, it was actually Cynthia, that emailed and said that she had tried the original Flexi Flips, which by that I think she means the Addies, which are what I've gotten. And she said she didn't like them because the needle was too short, but she got some by Unicorn. It's EWENICORN, and they have a 5-inch needle on them. And she says she really likes those, and she's been using those. So
okay,
I wasn't even aware that there was. The only ones that I've ever seen are the ones by Addie. So I didn't know that there were actually other brands that made them. So that's good to know. So, and then the other question was from Wanda, and she said she had some doilies that her grandmother made, and somehow or other they inadvertently got in the wash, turned purple, and she's trying to get them back to the original white. So she's tried a couple of different concoctions. I think she's even bleached, and right now it's pale pink, and just wondered if we had any ideas or any thoughts on what she could do to get them back to white. I I don't know, but I don't know if anybody here might have any suggestions on, you know, any possibilities that might. Julia, she tried something that was a mixture of borax with something else, but I don't know if she tried straight.
It might have been borax and baking soda.
I think it was.
Yeah.
Sunshine, that's a good idea. That's a good idea, Barb, because I know sunshine does bleach out a lot. So maybe if you laid it out in direct sunlight for a while. Okay, and there's another idea. RIT color remover, bluing, old-fashioned bleaching. So lots of good ideas here. So, oh, OxyClean. I don't know if she tried OxyClean. Okay, and then Tracy again saying the RIT dye remover. So those are all good ideas. So that I would have never thought of. So I hope, Wanda, that one of those ideas works for you, because I know they're sentimental and she wants them back to what they originally were.
For sure.
So, okay. Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay.
I think I do think there were some, but again, I had no ability to.
Did you not have my emails? Did you not have the question about the Flexi Flips? Don't you have the video?
Okay, yeah. So I'm going to tell the story about the Flexi Flips. So last week, I had been talking about the Flexi Flips and how we couldn't flip them. And I went to the coffee shop and Julia is like, no, I'm sure we can flip them. Yeah, and then she attempts to flip them. Noelle tried to flip them. I tried to flip them. So then I get an email from, is it Justina? Justina. I'm pretty sure it's Justina. And she sends me a message and she says, she can flip the Flexi Flips, no problem. And I'm said, okay, Jasmine. Oh gosh, I'm so sorry. So sorry. It's on my Instagram. Anyway, it is Jasmine. It's Jasmine. So she says she can flip them, no problem. And my befuddled brain says, okay, please take a video of yourself doing this and send this to me. And she did. And my mind was blown. I don't want to spoil the surprise. So then when Julia came into the fair, by the way, on Friday, I said, by the way, Julia, I just have to show you something. And I said, here's the video that Jasmine sent. And Julia looked at it and we both looked at one another. And I said, how stupid do I feel right now? And we're like,
yeah, but someone commented that on the podcast last week. That's why because I hadn't seen the video that you put in there.
I know, but and now that I look at it, it's so easy.
So last week.
So clearly Noelle and Julia and I all stick our needles inside the sock and flip it up over. And Jasmine doesn't do it that way. She does it the right way. And I'm just going to share with you this little video. And I laughed and laughed and laughed when I saw this. And I thought, I honestly feel beyond ridiculous. So thank you, Jasmine, for sending us this. But here you go. Here's how to do it.
I know, because I
just feel so silly.
Like I said, there was a comment last week. I can't remember what viewer it was, said, because instead of you pull the sock or you reach in and you pull the sock the other way.
Pull the sock through.
And someone said that and I thought, okay. And then
doesn't make sense.
I got to the end of it this week.
We do it the other way. I know. And then when I saw that video, I was at home and I'm like, I am embarrassed that I am now going to have to go on KnitChat and explain that I couldn't figure out to pull the sock through instead of push the needles through. Yeah. So there you have it, friends. One of life's mysteries explained, life-changing, life-altering. And now the best part is I will be able to do an entire pair of socks on those Flexi Flips, which might be my new fun way to knit a pair of socks. I'm completely there for it. Yeah. Yeah, and Julia was
anyway.
Silly things we think, but it's funny how we process tasks differently. And clearly the three of us were thinking one way to do it.
Yeah. Well, that's just the way I've always done it with the other socks, right? Because the needles go through so easily. So
anyway, mind blown. Thank you, Jasmine.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Okay. So do you have any finishes?
No.
Okay. I have two.
Okay.
Okay.
Show away.
Okay.
Oh, somebody's asking what size did you use? I use for socks, I use a 2.25 millimeter most of the time. I
Yeah.
will go up to a 2.5 maybe for color work or something like that. But generally speaking, I use a 2.25. And I think, Noelle, you're the same, right?
I use a 2.25. When I first got them, I could only find a 2.5, and I do sometimes knit on 2.5. So I got the 2.5s, but I have since got 2 sets of 2.25s because that is what I normally use. So
I am still a little concerned that I'm going to lose that third needle.
well, I figure I've got 2 sets.
I
I
will be
figure if I
completely if that
buy
happens.
another set, that means I can have 4 pairs of socks on the go and just 1 needle to knit them with.
I know, but think about it this way. How many times do you lose stitch markers and other apparatus?
I've been on the floor picking up stitch markers all week, and I haven't lost one yet, but I probably spent enough time on the floor looking for them. And I could have had another sock knit. But
okay. And yes, Amy, that's right. Liz was asking what was the alternative to Kitchener stitch that we use for our socks. It is the Finchley graft.
Yeah.
And there is I did a tutorial for the Finchley graft, and actually we're at 36:15. If you come back into this and you're looking for it, I'm going to go back in after the show. I will put a link up above over here over Noelle. I'll put a link in there at that timestamp so you can come back in and watch that tutorial.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So I do have 2 finishes. So my first one is a pattern that I just got this week. I actually just started it. I actually just started it yesterday, but it's finished. But it's just a little shawl. So this is, I'm going to show you some pictures of it. This is the Armagh shawl, and this is a pattern by Brenda Brayfield. I've done some of Brenda's patterns before. I really like them. There's a lot of information in them. She gives you like charts to follow while you're doing it, and there are multiple sizes in it. So this is just some of the ways for this one, because this one, I did the Armagh scarf, but the pattern is actually called Armagh shawl, and it comes with both like a shawl and a scarf weight. So that's just showing some of them. And then let me just show you, there's some more versions of it, and I'll take the banner down there so you can see better. So you can see, you can get it a little bit better. So it's almost like one's almost the size of like the Sophie shawl, and then the other ones are just like the little scarf version. So
I like that hair tie version.
The one that I did, and I'll put the name back up here. The one that I did was the little scarf version. And I do have a picture with it before I show it to you. So there, it's just a little, fits around the neck. Just gives a little pop of color to whatever you might be wearing. And here is my scarf, and the pattern in this is gorgeous, like the texture, like it's and that is not cables. That is done. There is no cabling in that.
She is so good at coming up with these things, that like eliminating the things that some people find problematic. Like the last one that you did, where it's no purling, and this one is not cabling for those who don't like to cable.
You get that gorgeous texture, and that's the right side. But honestly, the wrong side of that pattern is just as nice It's just as nice as the right side of it.
Yeah, for sure.
So this I did in when it wasn't here before I dropped my book. It is Barocco Ultra Alpaca Light. So it is, where I wrote it down here, it is 50% alpaca and 50%, let me see. I thought I wrote it down. Sorry, 50% superfine alpaca and 50% Peruvian wool. It's a DK weight. Now the pattern calls for a fingering weight, but I always find that alpaca, you can kind of knit it tighter.
Yep.
So this, oh, there it is. It's right there. Sitting right beside me. So Ultra Alpaca Light, 50 gram skeins. I had like 2 grams left, but she tells you how to weigh and measure so that you can get the most width you can out of the scarf. So, and this color is called Candied Yam, which I thought was a perfect color for this.
Perfect for fall.
And yeah, it was just like once you got into the pattern was easily memorizable. And it's got just, even her edges are just so nicely finished off. Like there's the edge on is kind of like just a 2-stitch I-cord. So you've got a nice finished edge on each side. And I can definitely see doing more of these. I can even see doing like a bigger one for like a shawl to go under a coat.
Yeah. Marilyn says that she was lucky enough to test this one for Brenda.
Oh,
and
yeah.
She said her patterns are so very well written.
They are.
I'm just trying to remember what's the name of that yarn that I bought that I went on a mission to find because it was sold, it was discontinued, but I made my the hand warmers in it. It's so soft. And then I gave
I can't remember the name either, but it had yak in it.
Yeah. That would be perfect for that.
Mm-hmm.
For one of those.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
So yeah, so like I said, and there's so many variations. And again, and see if I can bring the picture up again. She's also got the little like in that bottom picture there in the
little shawl tie.
The little shawl tie. And she's got, did it show in the other one where she's got that around the I mean there's if you go on, no, but there was another picture of a bigger shawl that had that on it too. But if you go on to her Ravelry pattern page, she's got quite a few examples of the shawl on there. Mm-hmm. So
very nice.
It was very enjoyable to knit. It was like I've been doing like sweaters and socks, so it was nice just to do a little bit something different just for a break. So, and then my next finished object is my my Buttle by Marie Wallin. So this is my vest.
Oh, very nice.
Completely all done. So this is done in Marie Wallin British Breeds Aran. And it's got 11 colors in it. And the colors are, let me see if I can remember them all. The colors are russet, mahogany. I've already forgot. Raw, dark apple, eau de Nil, wood, mallard, silver birch, pale oak, blossom. And I think that's about it. I don't know if that was all of them or not, but that's most of them. So anyways, yeah, I've got some pictures. So this is depending on how warm it's going to be. This will be something that I wear to Rhinebeck. It is a vest, but it is heavy. So we'll see. I think Saturday's supposed to be cooler than Sunday, so it might be a Saturday outfit. This vest is heavily modified from Marie Wallin's version because her version, the smallest size finishes 38.5, I believe. Mine finishes 32.5. And at the other size, it was just like, for me, it was just way too big. So I had to take out like basically a big chunk of the pattern repeat. Then I had to make it shorter. So then I had to adapt the stitches and stuff to pick up for the armhole bands. Plus I did a little bit more on the neck as far as the trim color, because I really like to get that extra row in there so you don't see any purl ridges on the right side of the fabric. So I did that around the neckband, the arm bands, and at the bottom. So basically I had knit this. If you've watched some of the earlier episodes, I had knit this probably about this much before I just looked at it and thought, this is just going to be too big. So I resized it and now I'm really happy with it. This has not even been blocked yet. I just gently steamed it because I don't have the facilities here to really block it. So I think
it looks great though. It really looks good. I love that the twisted rib armholes and everything. That looks really good. So that yarn's amazing. Like it's toothy.
It is toothy. It's too thick. It's not my favorite yarn to knit with. I much prefer knitting with a lighter weight yarn. She has the British Breeds. Her regular British Beads is just a fingering weight yarn, and I much prefer to knit with that as opposed to. So yeah, so I'm happy with that.
Good. It looks beautiful.
Thank you.
A couple of comments here. So the hand warmers I was thinking about were the Cielo hand warmers that I used, that Diamond Luxury collection, which was that baby llama heather. And I have more of that in different colors. And I think that pattern would work really well for that. Maybe I'll dig some of that out tonight to bring with me. I also have to pack my knitting bag. And then this comment popped in. Tracy said that she's going to come and knit at the coffee shop one Saturday this month at the end of the month. And I'm really excited for you to meet her. Tracy and Susan, we met when we went to the Flock Together festival at the Little Red Mitten, and you're going to love them. They're a hoot, an absolute hoot. Okay.
Okay, there was a question here. Just a minute. The question was if the pattern calls for DK and you used Aran. I just want to find it.
Oh, right. The yardage. Let me see. I saw that too.
Okay. I know it was just here.
Right here.
Okay. So if a pattern states Aran, but you use DK, do you expect to use more or less yardage? Okay. If a pattern states Aran and you want to get the same size, the same overall size as what it is in the Aran, you're going to need more rows and more stitches. So you're going to use more yarn. You're going to use more yardage. It may not be more weight wise, but it's going to be more yardage.
Right. And a good way,
you're going to have to do more stitches and more rows.
Right. And
although when you're using the Aran, it's a bigger needle. It's most of the time you're going to use, if you use a lighter weight yarn, you're going to use more yardage.
Right. And Haley, you said it exactly right. The thinner the yarn, the higher the yardage.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, because if you think of it like I can normally do a fingering weight sweater, it'll take me 3 skeins, like between 2 to 3 skeins. So that's between 8 and 1,200 yards. A DK weight sweater probably only takes about 8 to 1,000 yards, and an Aran weight sweater probably only takes about like 600 to 800 yards. So, but you were looking at just in terms of yardage, not in terms of weight, because in weight, most likely that's going to go up. So, okay. So that's it for finishes. How many whips do you have? 1. Okay. Okay. I have a few. Okay. I'll go first. Okay. So my first whip is I'm still working on my Little Love by Ankestrick, but I did get Ross to take some pictures so I could show you where I am with it.
Okay.
Let me see here. So here's, so I'm almost at the point, it's just a cropped cardigan. So I'm almost at the point where I can kind of start doing the bottom rib. I'm just going to take a look and see, because this isn't blocked or anything yet. So I think the shoulders will block down a bit once I block that out. And then there's a picture of the back. So like even down at the back, you can see that it's, like it's at my waist already. So if I do just like a couple of inches of rib, it'll be like right at my hip bone, which is, I think, is where I want it.
That looks great.
So
really good.
I'm really happy with the Mondim yarn. I've used it before for socks, but I've not used it for a sweater before. So yeah. So, and I've still got some of the second ball left. So I think that I'll be okay. I think I was originally worried that I might have to, or I might run out of yarn because I've only got 3 skeins, but I think I should be okay because I've still got this much left of the second ball. So there's, I would say, enough there to finish the rib. And there's the, it looks better in the pictures, but yeah. So I think that I should be able to get it out of the 3 skeins because like in the actual pattern, the sleeves are not really big and bulky. They're just kind of more tapered, slim fitting sleeve. So and then the sleeve's going to start like basically about down here because it's a drop shoulder.
Right.
I think I should be able to get the sleeves out of 1 skein. And the Mondim has fairly generous yardage. This is Retrosaria Pomar. This is the Mondim, which is 100% Portuguese wool. And it's got...
And it's held single, Petra.
Single. It's held single.
Yes.
Yep. Let me see what the yardage is on this. 421 yards. So it's quite generous.
And Kim is saying that there isn't Aran wood. Oh, sorry. There is not Aran wool in the UK. So she's wondering if it's similar to their worsted weight. And we have an answer here. Mimi says it's very close.
The British breeds, it's got less than 100 yards in a 50-gram ball. I find it quite thick. I find it thicker than our worsted. So
okay,
I do find it quite a thick yarn. Okay. Do you want to go?
How many do you have?
5.
Okay, keep going for a while.
Okay, my next one is my Lord of the Rings socks. So these are the long dark of Moria. I didn't put who that's by. It's by Claire Ellen, who is the designer of all of the Lord of the Rings socks that I have knit so far. And I do have a picture of those. So they are more textured than the other socks that I did, less on the cable. Now these have been kind of I did get some work done on them, but they've kind of getting put aside because, you know, I found new things that I want to do. But I am down to the heel of the first one. And there you can see that.
Okay.
The texture on it.
Yeah, it's good. It looks good.
So I think, I mean, it's going to be nice looking sock when they're done. It'll be kind of a little bit more dressy.
Mm-hmm.
This wool is Yowl Superwash Acrylic Blend. So this is actually a discontinued one. They've actually come up with a new one, but this one was 75% wool, 18% nylon, and 7% acrylic. Whereas I think their new blend has no acrylic. It's all nylon, although they're both manufactured fibers. But so it's very, very similar, like to most 75-25 German sock yarn. So I think it will hold up well. And it really does show the texture off.
Mm-hmm. It's beautiful.
Yeah. And that is sock number 10. So I do have to have that finished by the end of October, but
yes,
but I still have a half a month. So I'm sure I can do it.
You can do it.
Okay. And the next sock that I'm working on, this is, and I last week I showed the Stripe Central socks. I've only just cast those on, the second one on. So I'm not even going to show you those because I got sidetracked and got so many baskets and things here. I got a sock done.
There you go.
So this was the sock yarn that I actually got at Carlton Place. And this is the Funny Feets by James C. Brett. This colorway is called FZB23.
Okay.
So, FZB23. And look how the it doesn't have a ton of red in it, but the way it worked out, I got a red stripe right up at the top, a red stripe right down here before the toe, and then one red stripe on the heel. So it kind of like all balanced.
Yeah, it does. And it's nice because where the blue is placed too.
Yeah. Yeah. So then I have started the second sock. And again, these are on Flexi Flips. So I started the second sock, the red stripes in there. I did pull off some yarn in order to match so that they would match exactly. I didn't have to pull off very much, so that was good. Like I only had to pull off maybe like a tiny ball, but I just wanted them to match exactly. So this, especially because I wanted those red stripes in the
same place.
In the same place on both socks. Okay.
All right. Well, I am still working on my sweater for Rhinebeck. This will be easy to finish though. Honestly, it's not that this takes very much time at all. I'm just trying to tuck in some ends. I may not have my ends woven in, but I'll be fine. So I've finished, I don't know where I was last week, but anyway, the waist is cast off.
So good, Kelly.
Everything is good. And then I'm onto the cuff of the first sleeve. And really this sleeve does knit very fast, but as I said, I just have had no knit time. So I had to go longer in the striping sequence for the sleeve. Otherwise it wouldn't have hit. I wanted it to come further down the arm. So I'm actually, am I on the rib yet? No. So what I decided to do was actually add in a couple of extra colors because it should have ended at this pink,
right?
And then it should have been the teal. So I added in 2 more colors, and then
I'm the color.
Pardon me.
So you end with the same color and on the
I want to end with the same color. So I'm actually knitting this stripe in teal, and then I'm adding a cuff. So my cuff is going to look a fair bit longer, but I'm still okay with that because I just, you know, I have something in my head. That's how I want it to look. So that is the sweater. It looks so good on too. I love the color. Honestly, if I hadn't been working so much, this would have been like a 1.5 week sweater. You could whip through this in no time. It knits up like a dream. This is that Alpaca Mist yarn by Estelle, and this is going to be super cozy warm. And so where am I on the dress? And this is the Andrea Mowry's stripes pattern. I think I did have a banner for it. Yeah. And where am I on the dress? So the top of the dress is done. I'm on the skirt. I've got everything serged and ready to put together. And what I'm doing is the dress is very similar to this color. And I'm doing a placket to go down the left front of my leg in a color similar to this taupey color. I've got that all done. Buttonholes are in. I will be sewing buttons either in the car or once I'm there. That's not a problem. I'm not worried about that. So all I have to do tonight is actually put the side seams together now, gather the skirt, attach it to the top, and put the hem in. So that should not take me very long at all to do tonight. And then I'll be wearing this as my Saturday outfit to Rhinebeck. And in case of rain, I got the clear plastic raincoat today too. It's not going to rain, but if it does, I'm covered. And I just can't recommend this yarn enough. If you want to do something like super quick, and I'm knitting this on a 4mm needle, and to show you, like, it's like you can barely see my skin through on the pink if I stretch it out, but like on all the other colors, it's really good. It does give you a nice dense fabric, and it is so soft to wear. And I absolutely love this orange. It's just,
that's almost the color of this.
Almost. Yeah, it's pretty close.
Yeah.
So I have lots of leftovers. Like, I'll show you. Whoops. I'll just be carrying this right out to the car later tonight. I still have it in the basket like this. Whoops. There we go, in the basket. So that shows you how much. These are only 50-gram skeins to start, and I still have so much of the yarn left. So I had fully planned to do like hand warmers or something else too. But maybe not for Rhinebeck. No. Maybe.
You're not going to need them for Rhinebeck.
I'm not going to need them. It's supposed to be 20 degrees that day. So, yeah.
So there were a couple more questions about the Flexi Flips. So Mimi says that the Utopia ones are also made by Addie. So they're just they must be just like a different line, like a different like shape, but both by the same company. Mm-hmm. And someone was asking if we like them better than, I think when we start talking about preference of what you like and what you don't like, it's all personal. Like I know Kelly likes knitting on 9-inch circular needles, and I hate it. But
I'm also surprised how much you like the Flexi Flips, because they're not very sharp, and you like knitting on Chowgu, which are quite sharp. And so I like the Flexi Flips because they're not as sharp.
But they have a sharp end and a dull end. And I make sure every time I flip it around that I'm using
They do?
Yes, they do.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yes. They have a sharp end and a dull end. So every time I use it, I'm making sure when I flip that off, I've got it down so that it's exact, that I know exactly how to flip it, that I've got the sharp end, that I'm knitting the stitches.
Oh, and now I just want to look at them. I didn't even notice that.
Yep. So
how interesting.
So again, it's like, it's a personal preference. Like I bought the one set and I wanted to try them out before I made a commitment to buy more of them, because they're not cheap. And I know that we had people that said that you can turn your Chowgus with the little 2-inch into Flexi Flips. But then think of it though, you have to buy three sets of needle tips.
That's right.
And then the cords to turn those into. So that makes it even more costly than the Flexi Flips. So if you've already got all those needles and all you need is the cord, that's one thing. But if you have to go out and buy all those individual tips, then it's getting into a costly endeavor. So
so I'm writing down that Utopia by Addie, because I may look for those and give those ones a try too. This was just like a full out
too. Pardon me? They might be good for sleeves, because you could probably do more stitches, because if they're 5 inches on each end, they're going to be longer overall than those. So you might have more distance around to be able to actually knit a sleeve on it, as opposed to just a sock circumference.
Yeah, because this was absolutely just an experiment for me. And at first I wasn't sold on them. And then I figured out how they fit comfortably in my hands. And now I'm kind of onto them. But however, I have only knit baby socks on them at this point, or like toddler socks. So I am looking forward. I had decided that my next pair of socks, I'm going to knit on the Flexi Flips just to see what an adult pair feels like. But I think I'm really going to like them.
Yeah. Well, I've basically knit an adult pair, but they just don't match. There's one of each, and I'm hooked. I like them. So, okay. Do
you have another one?
Yes, I do. Okay. So last week I was working on, I had started a pair of Manon's mitts, the Lift Me Up mitts.
Yes.
And I was doing it in knitting for Olive soft silk mohair and their heavy merino.
Mhm.
It was too thick. I had to rip it out. It was too thick.
Okay.
Their heavy merino I find quite thick.
Okay.
But, so I just switched it up. So I am now, and I do have a banner for them in a picture.
You
So
know what
there's
would be a great
picture of
yarn?
what they look
Rose?
like. Pardon
If
me.
you know what a great yarn would be if you were to use like some of the Leo and Roxy basics with a mohair or the Knit Pick Stroll, because those are both like a little bit of a lighter fingering. And if you held that with a mohair, I think you'd get perfect gauge.
Okay, where's the, okay. So it's the Lift Me Up mittens by Manon Drolet. So that's a picture of the ones that Manon's done. And those ones look like they're done in just a straight DK. So they do call for a DK weight yarn. So in saying that, you can either use a DK weight yarn, or you could use a fingering held with a mohair, or maybe even a light fingering held with a suri. Lots of possibilities of what you could use for them. So what I'm using is this yarn that I got in Corfu in Greece. And I had to buy this. I had to buy this because I went into the store and this was sitting there right in the opening bin. And this was just like a little kind of craft store. And these were like €1 each. So I thought, okay, I got to.
How do you say no to that?
And it's kind of like a mauvey, brownish mauvey color. So I got 2 skeins of that, 50-gram skeins. It's a DK weight yarn. It is just acrylic, but I mean, come on, it was called Noelle, and it was like a yarn souvenir. I didn't know if we were going to find any more yarn after that or not, so I had to get it. And I've got one of the mitts done. So, whoops, yikes! And I got my needle here falling out of. Okay, just a minute here. Okay, there we go. So I do have this one done.
That looks good.
I really like it.
Really
and so
good.
the only difference, or the only modification that I made, is I have really skinny wrists. So I took 4 stitches out of the actual cuff. And then I put, once I finished the cuff, which is kind of like a twisted rib cuff, I increased those 4 stitches before I started into the body of the mitt. So she does a tutorial as well on the flower stitch so that you can easily follow it. It was, again, pretty easy once you got into it. And yeah, it just makes a really nice texture on the mitt. So they were fun to knit. And again, we want to thank Minot for the patterns that she gave us.
Absolutely. Victoria says that she has 2 balls of double Sunday. Would that be enough for the Lift Me Up mittens?
Yes.
I think so, right? Yes. Yes.
Okay. Just a minute here. I've lost my comments on the side. I don't know what I did. Oh, now, let me see here. Okay, Kelly, talk. Talk about something till I get my comments back.
Somebody else mentioned that Nancy Wheeler is still having her 25% off sale on all of her patterns. And I forget the day that is until October 20th, maybe sticks in my head a little bit, but it is 25% off of any of her patterns. So if you are interested in knitting any of Nancy's socks, I'm actually wearing the Titty Gaga socks today. I don't think I'm going to try to stick my foot up to the camera. That might be a bit of a trick, but they're really comfortable. And she does write a beautiful pattern for socks too. Very good instructions, very good details, and usually very easily memorizable. Oh, and now she's just gone altogether.
I'm back, but seriously, I hit a button on the computer here and I don't know what I hit.
But they're not back?
I can't see any of the comments.
Oh no.
So
you must have hit did you hit like maximize on your screen and it cut some of it out?
Yes. So how do I get back?
Hit the little like 2 boxes where it takes it back to a normal size up at the top right.
Yeah, but I hit that and it just takes it away completely. I seriously don't know what I did. Here.
Ross.
Okay, I'm going to go out and come back in.
That's not going to help. Don't go all the way out. Is Ross getting worried about sharing the house with 2 more crazy knitters?
No. No.
Okay.
Okay, Kelly, you're gonna have to talk for a minute. I'm going all the way out.
No, don't go all the way out. Don't go all the way out.
I have to. I can't see anything now.
I didn't knit this week. I have nothing to talk about.
Talk about your dress.
I already talked about the dress. Okay,
Too
go out
late.
and come back in. Try pressing. Oh, she's gone. Okay, she'll be back. She'll be right back. I did have something else start. Oh, that was about Nancy Wheeler's pattern. Oh, I know what I can talk about. So this year I entered some items into the fair, into the home craft. So I entered in 9 items. 8 of them were knitting items and 1 of them was a sewing item. And I did very well. I got, did I get 3 or 4 first places and some seconds and a third? So I was really happy with that. And it isn't only me that entered into the fair this year. This year, 2 other of our Knit Chatter friends entered. Julia and Dawn both entered. And can I say that the Knit Chatters, we did well. We did really well as a group. We all had places in our knitted garments. So I just want to throw that out as a challenge to the rest of us who gather together on Saturday mornings, that next year it would be really great if everybody put a few items in the fair. And if I'm working there next year, I would be happy to take them out for you. So you can't even say that you can't get them to the fair. But I think it's really fun. This is only the 2nd year that I've exhibited at a fair. And I think that fall and county fairs are maybe a little bit of a bigger thing in the United States than they are in Canada, but it's fun. And then you get to go in and see what everybody else put in and see how they made out. And so I just encourage you. Okay, you're back. Have you got comments back?
Yes, I got my comments back. So, okay. So, I have one more whip.
Okay.
So first of all, I made another trip to the Perfect Blend because it is an amazing yarn store.
Because you didn't take enough yarn with you?
So I've been knitting on things that I bought, not things that I brought. So I got this little bag and I bought some more yarn. So they actually have a couple of kind of trunk shows going on right now. So the first one is Emma's yarn.
Oh,
And
nice.
yes,
I like that yarn.
I didn't buy any of Emma's yarn, but Emma, I guess the owner in the store was telling me that Emma's yarn, they have actually, I don't know if it's 2 yarn companies, but they've got Emma's yarn, they've got that Love and Leche, the bombs, hand bombs.
Yes.
That's all part of them. And they now own the yarn store in Sarasota called A Good Yarn, which I went to years ago when I went to a retreat in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
So quite busy. So she had a beautiful display. If you go when you're here, you'll see it. They've got a whole.
I was going to say, are you and Julie and I have to visit the store when we're there?
And then they also had yarn and I forget her name, but Ginger Twist Studios in Edinburgh. She had yarn there. So it's a woolly yarn. So that's what I got. So, and they were very kind. Well, here's my little Ginger Twist Studio bag. Take my yarn out.
Very nice.
So this is my little Ginger Twist Studio bag. So this is from Edinburgh,
nice.
Scotland. And the yarn that I got, this is one of the colors.
I like that.
This color is called Muddy Sunshine. Mm-hmm. And then this is the other color that I got. And this color is called Lallybrock. And that's a Outlander reference.
Yes, I was going to say that's Jamie's home.
Yep. So this is Ginger Twist Studio. This is her Masham Mayhem 4-ply. Nice. So it is 100 grams, 75% British Blueface Luster, and 25% British Massam. So these are the 2 colors that I'm putting together in a sweater. And the sweater that I'm doing is, I have so many things over here. The sweater that I'm doing is called Lorien. And I do have a picture of it. So this is the sweater.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
This is a pattern by Eleanor Mortensen. And I did the Renaissance sweater by Eleanor Mortensen, and I really liked it, but I really liked how I could use the 2 colors in this one. So this is what I've got so far. So I started it with the Muddy Sunshine. and then it goes into so it's really neat because I've started now where it reverses.
Right.
So
I like that.
where the kind of the chartreuse color is your background, and you've got the dark burgundy as your pattern, and then the now switching so that the chartreuse will be the leaf
Very
pattern,
nice.
and then it changes to have the dark color as the background, and then that'll
Can
be
you show a close up of that neckline? That's beautiful too.
There.
Yeah, look at that.
So
That's
and I
stunning.
believe that she carries that down into the hem as well. So yeah, so this took over. When I got this, it's like that's all I want to knit. I don't
Everything
want
else out the window.
Everything else is like, okay, it was like I have to finish my buttle vest for Rhinebeck, but I want to knit on this. So
That is stunning.
Ross goes, I guess there goes my socks. Anyway, super fun. I love the feel of the yarn. I think we might be going back there tomorrow. So it could be more of that yarn in my future. Yeah.
Is that a fingering or is it a sport weight?
No, it's a fingering.
Fingering. Okay.
Yeah, it is. Let me see here.
Oh, Candace says she has to make that sweater.
400 meters. So yeah,
beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
Yes, Julia says, don't go tomorrow. Amazing. Wait for us.
Oh, I'll go again.
Okay.
It'll be so busy on the Friday when you guys are in there. I need to go when it's not busy.
Okay. Can I just say I can't wait to see you tomorrow. We are going to have so much fun. I'm so excited.
This is like Ross helped me pick out the colors. And look, not even any pink.
No.
I'm so excited by that. It's so nice to get a project that you're all excited about and you can't wait to knit.
Yes.
Yeah,
I don't even want to pack. Now I just want to go knit.
I'm telling you,
knitting all week.
I brought this with me, but that was yarn I bought. Both of the pairs of socks that I'm knitting for Ross are yarn that I bought. This sweater is yarn that I bought.
Honestly, Noelle, I don't know why you ever take knitting projects because you always buy new yarn and you always have to cast on something from the new yarn. I don't even know why you bother taking existing or yarn or anything else with you.
Well, what if there was no yarn store? What if the yarn store had no
you're going to find a yarn store.
What if it was closed?
No, it would be open. You would not run out of things to knit.
Anyway, just I'm absolutely in love with that. So, and the yarn just feels amazing, and it was so much cheaper because I didn't have to go all the way to Scotland to get it.
Exactly. Right. What a saving. What a savings.
Okay. That's all of my whips.
Okay.
But I have an acquisition. Well, that yarn was my acquisition, but also from the store that we went to that had the wine bar in it.
Oh,
and they were actually having some things going on this week for Rhinebeck weekend too. In fact, Nora Gone was going to be there one night. So we've already met her.
Yes, but not in a great way. Yes, we have such a funny story.
They were having a trunk show too. I can't remember who it was. I mean, Ross is pretty good and pretty patient, but I don't want to press my luck. But I had to do some pre-shopping.
That's right. Absolutely. Yes.
Okay. So the last thing that I got, and I got this at I think that store was called Yarn Farm. I'm pretty sure in Kingston. And I got some fiber.
Very pretty.
And I brought my spinning wheel with me too, and I have not taken it out of the case. But I got 200 grams of this, and I think it's got I don't want to take it out of the bag, but it's got orange and yellow and burgundy and green and blue, and it looks really dark, and but every time you spin it up you always get the lighter stuff, and it doesn't turn out nearly quite as dark as what it looks like. So I think it's going to look really
very pretty.
Yeah. So that's it.
Good week.
Yes, Gail, Ross is going to Rhinebeck. Ross will be able to talk to anybody about anything.
So Julia was asking too, where, if people wanted to meet us, where could they find us? We will be on the fairgrounds. That's all I can say. On Saturday, we're in the afternoon. We'll probably be up around the hill where all of the chaos is. But other than that, you'll see us. I'm the tall one. She's the short one. We stand out in a crowd. please come and say hello for sure. Absolutely. And now you know what we'll be wearing. I'll be wearing possibly an unfinished striped sweater, but no, it'll be finished by then. And I may be wearing an unhemmed dress too, but no, that'll be done as well tonight. So anyway, and Julia will be with us, and you'll be able to spot Julia too. So
Yeah. So, and Julia has purple hair. That's right.
she has purple hair. Yes.
So,
Yes.
yeah.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah. So yes, please, 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 if you see us, come and say hello. We want to see what you're wearing. We
Yeah.
want to
talk to you. See, like,
We
we,
wanna
and
talk.
remember, like, we don't know what you look like. You know what we look like. So you have to
That's
come
right.
to us.
That's right. So if we walk past you, don't think that we didn't see you. You need to come and tell us that you're there. And once we hear your name and everything, we'll probably remember. But also, I'll be doing some recording, some filming, and things like that too. So I just can't wait. It's such an exciting week. It really is. And it has stretched out. It used to be a 2-day event. And now it's just like stretched out. There's like pre-events and more events. We're also going to go to press a yawn. We're also going to Jill Draper Studios Sunday afternoon as well. She has a really beautiful trunk show in, I don't know, will it be in the same place that we went last year? I don't know, but last year
I honestly don't even know where it was last year because Jenny drove. I know it was
Jenny
either,
drove, but it was at a park at a river.
well, it was either in Saugerties, Kingston, or Rhinebeck.
Yes. Yes. And we get to see Jenny and Jill again too.
Yeah.
Those are lovely friends to visit with anytime. So yes. Yeah. What else? Do you have anything else, or are we good?
That's it. I got to clean all this stuff out of your bedroom. The spider disappeared, so don't know where he is.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Is there anything you need us to bring? Or are we good to go?
Good to go.
Good to go. All right.
Good to go.
I'm excited.
So do you think you'll be there by supper time?
I'd like to think so, because we plan to leave early, but I guess it's pretty dependent on traffic too. It's a long drive, but
well, I'm doing a big pot of soup, so it can be ready at whatever time. So
awesome.
So
sounds good.
Okay.
Yay.
So
yay.
Okay. Well, take care, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. We love Tuesdays. We love talking with everybody, and you guys just make it so much fun. So if you are at Rhinebeck and you see us, come up and say hi.
Or at any of the places, if you see us anywhere. Yeah.
Anywhere. Downtown Rhinebeck, in any of the yarn stores, anywhere.
Absolutely.
Hi. And we will see you all next week post Rhinebeck. So Take care, everybody. Have a good week and happy knitting.